Hi everyone. So I've had some questions about gesture, so I am going to give you a little bit of a demo here on gesture on the woman in the plaid skirt. So 5-minute gesture, you're looking for the rhythm, just the basic form. If you can get that down all the way head to toe, that's all you need. And the more skilled you get, the more information you'll be able to get down in 5 minutes. But basically, you want to just get the movement of the figure going and really push the gesture so that you have as much gesture as possible in the first 5 minutes. So whether you're doing a 20-minute or a 3-hour pose or just a 5-minute pose, you've got the most gesture that you can find, because as you develop a longer pose, say you're doing a 3-hour pose, the figure will get tighter because you're building on it. So you want, in that initial 5 minutes, you want to get as much rhythm and movement as possible. So let's go. So what do I see? I see, look how strong this S curve is. Look how strong that is. So I see that immediately. I see the angle of the shoulders, the angle of the head, the way the body is moving down here, a lot of attitude. So taking all that in as I'm beginning my drawing. So head, looking for the head shape here. Angle of the shoulders. So this is the beginning, right? You're looking for the head and the angle of the shoulders. Now you can put a slight, sometimes I like to put just a little bit more information in here. Just like I like to put the ear, and I like to put the jawline, and just an indication of where the eye is, just to get the sense of how high the eyes are. Maybe a little bit of a hairline, but that's all. You're not going into a lot of detail because you might have to move this. You might move it this way or this way as you develop your drawing, or you might realize you missed the angle of the neck or whatever, but you're not going to put a lot of information. Now this shoulder, we can't really see it, but it looks like it's right up by her chin. So I'm going to make sure that I see that up by her chin. Where's this one in relation to what I just drew? It's right about here. So making sure that I get the shoulders, not only the right angle, but that I'm getting them in the right relationship to her chin. So I have that now. So now, how do I know where I'm going? If I drop a point, just a straight line, vertical, all the way down from here to here. You see how it goes right through this foot? So here to here. Now I could go over here, right, but I'm going through less information. I want to go through as much of the body information as possible. So I'm dropping this line. It should be vertical to the side of the paper. So right there. Okay, so if I drop that line, here. So this is going straight down, and again, vertical to the side of the paper. And then I can start in and see how little of the body is on this side of it and how much is on that side. So I know then that that's what I have to do. Now, when you get to the breast, don't worry too much about the breast. No matter how large or small, don't worry about that so much. But think in terms of getting that macaroni idea. See that compression over here, and the stretch over here. So getting that, and that macaroni goes all the way to the bottom of the hip. So again, we're looking for this shape. You see the shape? You see the macaroni shape? We're looking for that body shape. And that is going all the way, even though we can't see it, right? It's going all the way to the bottom of the hip, which is right about here. Now, if I'm not sure where that is, I can measure bottom of the hip to the bottom of the feet, bottom of the hip to the top of the head, just about the same. That should be the same length. So that's about, you know, if you figure out where the body would be under here, it's going to be right about here. So I'm all the way down here. And which is the weighted leg? Obviously this is the weighted leg, right? So that's the one that I want to find. Where is this in space? This hip is about that far from her face. So is that looks to be about here to here. So it's over here, it's right about here. So that's where the hip is, right about there. Right? Got that? And where's this side of the hip? So this side of the hip, is it lining up with the neck? A little bit farther than the neck. So if the neck is here, again, another plumb line dropping here. So it's a little bit to the right of that, right? So that leg, this leg is going this way. This leg is coming this way. And remember rhythm? So we're looking for the rhythm of this leg in space, which is going to be an S curve, right? It's going to curve like this. So how do I know how far down to go? Well, I can take that measurement again and say, okay, if I'm saying that the, anything to measure here with, if I say that the upper torso is from here to here, if I say that's from there to there, then this one has to be about here, right? So it's about my hand length plus. So I can then calculate, and I notice that I'm drawing the body. I'm not going skirt to space to stocking to boot. I'm looking for that leg, the whole body in that's under the clothing. So where is that leg in relation to the hip? It's just a little further in, so I gotta get that a little further in. In, come out here a little bit, come back in. Now as I go into that boot, I want to plant the foot, so the foot isn't straight across, right? It's a little bit slanted. And it's wrapping around. You see how this is wrapping around the leg? So it's wrapping around the leg. I want to get that ellipse. In here. And the best you can, you know, you're thinking about the foot inside here, so I'm thinking ankle would be about here, foot about here. You know, how big would the foot be for her? About that size. So, you know, you're searching for it. Searching for this. And then over here. So this leg, not as important as this leg, right? This is the important leg here. So in 5 minutes, if I got that much done in 5 minutes, that would be fabulous. So I don't know how long that was, but that much would be a lot. If you can just get this, if you can just get this sense of that S curve, this is an S curve. If you can just get that sense of an S curve all the way from the head to the foot and planted in the correct spot, you're a long way. You know, if I can get that foot and this head planted in the right spot with a little bit, you know, a little bit of attention to the ellipses, get this over. You know, if I can get that much going, that would be a good gesture. This is a good gesture. This has a little more information in it. But this is a good gesture in terms of getting going on it and getting as much interest as possible. Now, what does it mean when I push the gesture? What that means, I'm not pushing where the leg is, right? The leg is planted. I'm pushing this part where she could be more flexible, and I'm going to push this, not so much that it's unreal, but I can push this a little bit more so I get just a little bit more stretch and compression out of out of the pose. So from here, I'd come back and I would look for the arm, right? You know, and swing into it so that, you know, you sort of have a sense, is that how far down the elbow is? No. You see it? You see the elbow is in line here. You see this little space? If I drew a parallel line here, so if I draw a line here, it's got to come down a little bit. The elbow is right about at the waist. So you're always looking, as you're drawing, you're always looking for these relationships. You're always going this way and this way. So horizontal and vertical to look for the relationships as you go down.